Hey, what's up guys? Nick here at Envision Prototypes. Today we're working on this mammoth 62 Caddy, and what we're doing is doing kind of a chrome delete in certain areas. Wherever they had the emblems with pins going through the deck lid or through the hood, that caused issues, and we had an issue here with these gills. They didn't have a good seal, water got in just because of age, and it took out the floor inside. So we're going to remedy that for the future by taking and filling up these holes. We're going to take these gills off, clean this up, and just smooth things out. I'm going to start off by using a stripping disc on the grinder, and what we're going to do is just take the layers of paint down to bare metal. You can see probably a few areas around the car. We've done the same thing. The edges of the doors, wherever we saw a trouble spot, we removed the paint, went down to bare metal. We never use a stone abrasive disc because the disc actually ends up grinding into the metal, removing material, and that's something you don't want to do. You don't want to thin the metal out. All you want to do is take the paint off. Now, once the dust settles, we'll take the TIG out and start filling up these holes. Now these are small enough that we can fill them in using some filler rod. If they're a larger hole, we would take and cut out a small blank, insert it into that hole, and then weld it up. But these, they're quite small, and we'll just take and fill them up and close all this in. So I'm gonna get started. So as you saw, I took and applied gentle pressure and just started removing the layers of paint a little at a time. I didn't bear down on it because I didn't want to create heat and overheat this area. Now, as I was grinding it, I actually smelled Bondo. So somebody's actually been into here repairing this, and looking at it, there's some rough grinding marks here from an abrasive wheel. And it looks as though somebody's tried to repair this area before. There could have been some rust like that earlier, and they just cleaned it up by removing the gills, putting some Bondo over top, cleaning out the holes, putting the gills back on with some silicone. And that's what we found it kind of weird on the inside. We never thought the factory would use silicone back in the day. So they used some black silicone, stuck these back on, and well, it lasted a while longer, but as you can see, it came back up. So right now I'm going to take and clean the holes out because there's contamination within the hole. And once that's done, we'll set the TIG up and start filling these in. I'm going to use a step bit, just kind of by hand, clean out any paint, silicone, whatever's in there. I don't want to drill a larger hole, just want to clean it up a little bit. We'll go from the inside, do the same thing. Clean it up. See, there's another way of welding these up, and that's if you don't have a TIG, you can use a MIG, but you have to be extremely careful. I'll show you a little trick the old guys taught me. Back in the day, well, you can probably do it now too, but they used a bronze like this, and they would place it in behind and weld the hole up using the bronze as a heat sink as well as a backer. And that allowed the material not to flow through, because if you just weld the hole up, you'd have a whole bunch of stuff on the inside. And here, if you use a bronze, it would leave a flat surface on the inside, allowing you to fill the hole up and use this bronze as a heat sink, minimizing the amount of warpage that you would get here. But you'd still get warpage. So we're just going to use a TIG and fill them up without the bronze. So what we'll be using to fill this in is 2% thoriated tungsten inside my torch here, and some ER70S2 filler rod. It's a 1/16 diameter, and we'll just start off the edge of the hole and just work it in. Okay, that looks good. This one's a little bit high. Take and clean that up, plenish that out before we start the next row. Okay, I've left the welds a little bit high intentionally. I'm going to plenish this a little bit, allow the metal to come back up, and then we'll finish it off. Well, that came out really smooth. Little bit of a depression right here. This is smooth here, and then there's something going on there. So we'll slide a slapper in from the top, from the inside, plenish up against that, bring that up. It's so minute. At this point, we're gonna wrap up this episode. I appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.